Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for the additional round of questioning. Representative Price, I wanted to move to the topic I hope I would have gotten to in the first round, which is individuals with disabilities, many of whom, don't have the exact number, but many of whom rely upon Medicaid. One of them is actually a young man, a child that I just got a letter from his mother about, Pam Simpson. She's from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. That's in southeastern Pennsylvania. Talking about her son, Rowan Simpson, who was diagnosed in 2015 with autism. And among other things, she said about the great care they get, that he gets and their family benefits from is Medicaid. And she says, without Medicaid, quote, we would be bankrupt or my son would go without the therapies he sincerely needs, unquote. Can you guarantee today that he's going to have that kind of, his family is going to benefit from, and he, Rowan Simpson, will have that kind of coverage and protection that Medicaid provides, that he'll have that if you're Secretary of Health and Human Services?
We are absolutely committed to making certain that child and every other child and every other individual in this nation has access to the highest quality care possible.
Okay, so not access. He will have the medical care that he has right now, or better. If you can come up with a better level of care, that's fine. But he will have at least the coverage of Medicaid and all that entails that he has right now. And that's either yes or no. That's not.
No, it's not a yes or no, because the fact of the matter is that in order for the current law to change, you all have to change it.
No, but
if I'm given the privilege of leading at the Department of Health
and
Human
Services,
yes.
Look, we should stop talking around this. You have led the fight in the House, backed up by Speaker Ryan for years.
To improve Medicaid.
To block grant Medicaid, okay?
To improve Medicaid.
To block grant Medicaid. What that means is states will have to decide whether or not this child gets the Medicaid that he deserves. That's what happens. So you push it back to the states and hope it works out. One estimate by Center and Budget Policy Priorities, long before you were named, said that, here's the headline of a chart. House Budget Chair's plan would slash Medicaid by 1/3 by 2026. This wasn't developed because you're now in front of this committee. That's what they're saying, that Medicaid would be cut by 1/3 and by way of the number, $1 trillion. So let me ask you this question.
May I respond?
Let me just get this question in. Can you commit to us right now that no person with a disability who is currently covered by Medicaid, so that's everyone, that's Rowan and that's everyone else, that no person with a disability who is currently covered by Medicaid will lose health care coverage, not access, coverage, under the block granting plan that the administration now embraces as of Sunday?
What I can commit to you is that in a Medicaid system, that if I'm given the privilege of serving, then working with CMS administrators, that the metrics that we will use for Rowan and every single other patient is the quality of care that they're receiving and whether or not they're receiving that care. The metric that you want to use.
Metrics are fine. What I'm asking you again is, will you commit to ensure that Rowan and every other person in the country that has a disability that benefits from Medicaid today, will they have that same coverage, the same coverage and the same health care and coverage they have today?
Our commitment is to make it so that they have that coverage or greater.
That's a commitment you're making?
That's a commitment.
For every person that benefits from Medicaid who's a disability?
As I say, the goal is, and our desire is, but our desire is to make certain that people have better health care, not less health care.
Well,
and it's astounding.
Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with your answer. Until Sunday, there was a question as to whether or not President Trump or his administration would fully embrace block granting of Medicaid, because he said when he was campaigning that he would not cut Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. As of Sunday, the administration has said on the record, in at least one and maybe two interviews, that they are going to pursue a block granting policy with regard to Medicaid. What flows from that are the following. he has a majority in both houses. So what you've been working on in the House for years that you could vote for now may become the law of the land. So this is a live issue. This isn't theory or some policy among House Republicans. This is a potential enactment of law to block grant of Medicaid. And I hope you can keep your promise to make sure that no one with a disability suffers any diminution of care or coverage. That's a promise you just made, and I hope you can make that in light of a $1 trillion cut in Medicaid pursuant to block granting.